Hey guys, how's it going? This is Tim Shaves, and today I'm going to be working on this razor here. I featured this in a mail call maybe a couple weeks ago. This is the Focus razor. It's a Japanese Frameback, and I don't know much about this, but all I know is that it came in pretty decent condition. And I don't know if you can see the bevel, but this is what I like to see. A straight bevel without any warp. Yeah, you see that over there? Ooh, that is what I like to see. So, because the bevel seemed to be good and the spine wear was pretty much even on both sides, I put on a tape just to save some of that spine. And I worked on the Shapton 1K for a bit and then see how it went. It was sharpening up. Pretty much all the edge was grabbing onto my thumb. I did a thumbnail test. But it wasn't getting quite sharp to my liking. So I went to my Atoma 600, used this one for about, I don't know, 5-6 minutes. And right now it's at a point where it's cutting hair out really easily. I feel like this is gonna be a good steal because when it just touches the hair, it just slices it right off. I don't know, it's in good condition. It seems like a good razor. Japanese steel, I think. Sometimes there's like Swedish steel used by Japanese. I don't really know, but it says made in Japan, so whatever steel that they used, I think it's going to be a good one. And I like the scale too. It's a plastic scale, but just nice brown looking one. Now that I'm done with the Atoma 600, I'm moving on to the Shapton 1.5K. This is pretty much just removing the previous scratches. It is sharpening as well, but I just find that most of the sharpening I do, really, I just do it on the Atoma 600. And this stone, even though it is coarser at like 1500, 1.5K, for me, I just don't really, I don't find it doing it much sharpening. It's more removing previous scratches than actually sharpening the blade. That's just been my experience. I know a lot of people enjoy using this stone as a bevel setter. I just haven't had good experiences solely using this one as a bevel setter. I don't know if you can tell, but this stone is a lot thinner than other stones, other Shapton stones that I have, because I have been just grinding it, trying to use it, trying to set a bevel on it. To this day, it's really hard to set a bevel on this stone. I don't know why, but I just have to go down to my Atoma 600 to set a bevel. In my experience, I know it leaves harsher scratches, but I'd rather have the razor sharp and usable than get a dull, not shaving razor. So I'll leave it at that. Let me wet this stone up and get on sharpening here, honing. I'm gonna leave a bit of the water in here on the stone because it's not a, this is pretty much a splash and go stone, so it doesn't really, it doesn't drink up water, but I feel that, but in my experience, when you first use the stone, it needs some water. It does absorb some water, so I like to leave a bit more water, at least to start, and then it absorbs it, and once it absorbs enough, then it doesn't really drink up more. Hope you guys are doing well, enjoying your Labor Day weekend. And I already see something over here. What is this? Yeah, so you want to make sure there's no hair particles or whatever fluff that's in the stone. Once you put water on the stone, you can kind of see under the lighting if there's any fuzz on the stone. Yeah, so yeah, let's get on honing over here. I'm gonna wet the blade. Palm strop real quick. And a lot of these Framebacks, they tend to be on the more stiffer, rigid blade side. So when I strop it, it's not gonna give you that ping noise like some of the other hollow grinds will. Alright, so my aim for this stone is just to remove the previous scratches. So let's get at it. Just gonna do some X strokes to begin with. Just get used to the feel of the stone. I mean, this stone is really a nice stone to use. I love the feedback on it. It's just the sharpening capability of the stone has been a little questionable for me. Alright, let's go to half strokes now. Alright, there are 20 one side and 20 other. I'm just going to keep repeating this process. You can see some of the swarf building up here. Yeah, so far the blade is feeling good on the stone. I can feel it sharpening through all the edge, like doing something positive for the blade. Although going back, the feel isn't as great as going forward, so there might be a little more work coming backwards here. You could also probably tell by the sound of the honing as well. Going forward, the sound is a little more brighter, and then coming backward, it's kind of dull. It might be just my imagination too. All I know is that the feel is different going forward and back. But I did try cutting hair with this and it cut fine, so I'm just gonna keep on at it. All right, I feel like both sides are becoming more similar as I hone through. Yeah, the feel of coming back is improving. Just gonna add some more water here with my spray. Alright, I'm gonna rotate the stone and continue it. And I rotate the stone so that there's even wear on both sides of the stone. Yeah, it's a nice feeling stone. More water there. All right. Just gonna do some X strokes here. Yeah, and then the undercut going forward is riding up all the way to the midpoint of the blade. Coming back, not as much. So I do want to improve on that. I wish both sides were the same. And I could kind of tell by the sound of the honing as well that kind of it's giving more of the high-pitched noise going forward, not as much coming back. I could see that coming back, the front half of the blade is getting that violent undercut, but the, let's say, the last 60%, 70% of the blade is not. So I do want to work on this a little more, just so that it's equal on both sides. Gonna rinse the blade real quick. Palm strop real quick here. Just a maintenance of the blade, you know. We're gonna rinse the stone. Palm strop again. And then work on it until that the undercut becomes even. and the undercut may not become even on both sides. And that's okay. As long as it cuts well, shaves well, it's fine for me, but it is one of the visual signs that I look for when I'm honing. It's not end all be all, but alright, so the undercut did improve a bit. I know there's quite a bit of water on the stone, but the back half of the blade coming back, it still needs some improvement. So I'm going to keep that in here. Using about medium pressure. Putting some torque on the blade, but not too much. Today's gonna be pretty busy for me. I got some stick powder on the way, so I'm gonna be lapping some stones. It'll be interesting. I usually use my Atoma 140 to lap stones, but for harder arcs, that's been a real challenge, so decided to get some stick powder. So it should make it easier. Alright, check out the X strokes again. Yeah, still the undercut is struggling a bit on the way coming back. I mean, it is riding up on the blade, just not violently like the side going forward. I don't know if I work this more, if that undercut's gonna improve. I do think the scratch pattern, previous scratch pattern should be good removed by now. The bevel's looking pretty good under the light. So I'm just gonna hold under water real quick. Rinse off the stone. Rotate the stone and do some X strokes again. Yeah, and without any of that swarf, I get no undercut, so maybe a little bit. So undercut changes under the various conditions of the water mixture. Getting about similar undercut on both sides, except the front of the blade is getting that violet undercut. The rest of the blade just enough to go over the edge. Alright, I'm just gonna leave it at that. It should be good for 5K level. Shapton 5K. Let me see if it cuts some hair. Just gonna do arm hair, check. Cutting pretty easy. Most of the blade. There is a section that's not cutting as well. So what to do at this point? There is a section of the blade that is struggling to cut. About over here, it's not cutting as well. I'm gonna check again. Yeah. There's like random parts of the blade in the middle that's not cutting as well. But other parts is cutting really nicely. Yeah, so my plan is theoretically, in the past, I would have just worked more on the Shapton 1.5K. But as I've said before, really doesn't help with the cutting capability of the blade. So my thinking is that I'm gonna go back to Atoma 600, work on it more until that sharpness is back. I might also look at it under the loop and see. I don't see any sparklies on the middle of the blade. I'm thinking I missed it. There might be some, I don't know, weak steel or something going on in the blades, and I didn't really check properly after the 600. So I was planning to go onto the 5K, but I don't think it's ready for that yet. So I'm gonna go back, go on the 600 again, do it, check again until it's good, and then go back to the 1.5K and then continue on the progression. So a little change of plan. I want to do 1.5K and 5K today, but I'm gonna have to go back, and that's just part of the process for me. If it doesn't cut well in certain parts of the blade, I'm not gonna ignore it and just move on. That's definitely some of my mistake early on, and I still do sometimes when I get tired of, I don't know, just honing. I just want to finish the blade, but that's when a lot of the mistake happens, and at the end you feel like you've spent hours on this blade, finished it on this really super fine finisher, and then you go on shave and shaves well in certain parts of the blade, doesn't on certain, and just kind of ruins the experience. So rather than going through that, just go back to a coarser stone and work on that edge. Make sure that bevel is set, not like 80% set, but 100% set. So yeah, that's part of the honing process, and I enjoy it most of the time. Sometimes I don't, but yeah, I mean, it's part of it, but I do enjoy the shave afterwards. So I do like working towards that goal. So anyways, I'm gonna finish the video here. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what some of your processes in honing, or if you're getting just started, some of the challenges or tips that you found helpful. Yeah, let me know. So thank you guys for watching. This is Tim Shaves, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.